Welcome to Tyrannosaurus Riffs. My name is Brandon, and today we're going to check out 5 of my favorite guitars. What's going on, everyone? I hope you're doing well out there. This was a video that was requested a few months ago, but I've been kind of putting it off for 2 reasons. One, if you've been here for a while, you knew I had a pipe break in one of these walls behind the guitars, and the room was just kind of a disaster for a while, so I wanted to get it put back together. But the second reason, I had some new to me guitars around that time, and I wanted to make sure that I wasn't just in a honeymoon phase with a few of them, to not just put them on the list just because, but to make sure I actually did love them. So with that being said, let's jump into my 5 current favorite guitars. Number 1, this is going to be the Ernie Ball Jason Richardson Music Man Cutlass in the Burl. This is a really nice guitar. They're also very expensive. I think at the time of this filming, they're $3,799. Now, I did not buy this new. I got lucky and I feel got it in a pretty good trade. I've always wanted one of these, but never, I'm not looking to spend that kind of cash on a guitar, but I'm, like I said, extremely grateful to have it because it does. 1, it's beautiful. 2, it's got a trim. 3, it sounds amazing, which is what it's really all about. But 4, this neck, Music Man does a gun oil on their necks, and I'd never played a Music Man before, and this neck, while it's really thin, it's also very smooth and very easy to play. Also, Jason Richardson's a badass, which we all know. I am no Jason Richardson, but he's a fantastic guitar player, and I'm extremely grateful to have one of his guitars. So, moving on to guitar number 2. This one was a surprise to me because I got it in a trade. I had every intention of just checking it out and selling it as I was selling the amp I traded it for, and I picked it up. I was like, cool, it's a nice guitar. I knew that the P22s were on the higher end of the PRS guitars. The P22 is no longer made. It was replaced by the Custom 22. And I could be wrong, but I don't think those are made anymore either. Now, this one does have the piezo system, so the acoustic simulator, and I really love it. And I don't quite know what it is, but every time I plug this guitar in, I just fall in love with it over and over. So while I had the intentions of just doing a demo and moving it so I could keep gear coming, I cannot bring myself to sell this guitar because every time I plug it in, it's just fun to play. It always stays in tune. I don't know, there's some kind of magic, if you will, to this guitar, and I love it. It's got P22 passive PRS pickups. I think they sound great, and it's super comfortable, and it's a 2012. So that's how I got this. Had no idea that it would end up as one of my favorites. Now, these go anywhere on the used market from $2,000 to like $4,000, depending on the tops. This isn't a 10 top or anything, so it would probably range anywhere from $2,000 to $3,200, I guess. So kind of another high-end guitar. But let's move on to guitar number 3. Another PRS. Now, this is also a pretty high-end guitar. I honestly, before the P22, I never really had a lot of interest in PRS. I don't know why. I always thought they looked really nice, but I thought they were just really expensive, and I never understood maybe why they were that expensive until playing these, and they do play and sound fantastic. Now, a friend loaned me a green version 2 of the Dusty Waring. That's what this is, the Dusty Waring DWC-24. The DWC-E24. So I demoed the green one. This is a version 1, so it's got a little bit of spec changes on it. But after doing the green one, I had to have my own, and I went searching for it. And I found a pretty decent deal on this. I think I paid like $1,500, maybe $1,600 for it, used. But on the new market right now, this guitar version 2 would be $2,899. I wanted this one because it's got a Floyd Rose on it, I wanted to try these DW Tomahawk V1 pickups, which I love. They're very nice. And generally, as you can see behind me, there's not really any guitars with maple. This is my second guitar with a maple neck. It's not generally a look I like, but I do love the feel of maple. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do one of those DWs because it's a little bit different than the other stuff I have, and it plays and sounds fantastic. And again, this neck is amazing as well. The P22 doesn't have the satin matte neck like this one. This one's very fast and it feels very nice, where the P22 has gloss, but I still love that one. This is just another guitar that I fell in love with very fast and found myself wanting to pick up. So I picked one up pretty quick after returning the green one that I demoed to a friend. Now, at this point, I've just showed you 3 really high-end guitars in my opinion. You're probably thinking I'm a guitar snob. At this point, I promise you that I'm not. These are guitars that I lucked into and had no intentions of really ever owning. But these next 2 will show you that I'm maybe not that much of a guitar snob. Now, other than the last one I'll show you, these are in no specific order. These are just 5 of my favorites to play at this time. All right, guitar number 4, we've got the LTD EC 1000 in the black cherry. Now this one is a Korean made guitar. This one was made in 2009. Sometime last year, so in 2023, I found myself wanting another red maple top guitar in a single cut, just another Les Paul style, if you will, that I would play a little bit more, and this one screams 2000s with all the abalone, the red, it just, everything that I loved about growing up in those years. I think I picked this one up for $500 or $600 with a case, surprisingly. Now these stock come with an EMG 81 and 60, I believe. While I do believe that EMG makes a great pickup, I'm a huge fan of the Devin Townsend Fishman Fluence pickups, so I swapped these over to that once I got it and completely fell in love with this thing. Now at the time of this filming, these are $1,099, so $1,100 brand new, but I buy most of my stuff used and I look for good deals. This has 24 frets, it's made of mahogany, it's a Korean made guitar. I would put it up against anything. I think a lot of these Korean made guitars are just as good. They sound just as good as anything out there. So out of the 32 guitars in this room currently, this one actually probably gets played the most. Anytime I bring a new amp or pedal into the room and need to do some quick testing, this is just kind of the one I grab. And while I'm not a huge fan of this style bridge, this one always stays in tune. This guitar gives me no hassle ever. So it's probably the biggest workhorse in this room at this time. So with that being said, let's move on to guitar number 5. Now, it's probably no surprise, as I play this guitar quite often on the channel, that my Schecter Hellraiser Avenger FR is my absolute favorite guitar. It's the one I have modeled in my logo. It's the guitar that I play, I play it a ton. I play the EC 1000 probably more than this one at this point, just because it's, I don't know why, I just kind of grab it. Other than the Floyd Rose and the body shape, they're kind of the same guitar. I know it's Schecter and LTD. They're both Korean made. This one was made in 2010 and is a 1 of 42. It took me forever to find one of these, but I've had this guitar for 7 or 8 years now. And to be honest, I've thought about this a lot since I started this channel a couple of years ago. This is still the guitar that if I could only grab one in a fire, it's this one. It doesn't matter that the Music Man costs a little over $4,000 after taxes. You can get a Hellraiser with an FR for $1,100 right now. Not in the Avenger. They don't have these anymore, especially the white. That was just a 1 of 42 color. But there's just something really special about this guitar, and I love playing it. It's comfortable sitting or standing. While I don't do a lot with the trem anymore, the tuning stability of a Floyd Rose when they are set up properly, they're magic. So I would, if you've never played an Avenger, I would highly recommend trying one if you can get your hands on one. I know that everyone sees the Sinisters out there, and the Sinisters are great. They're basically the same thing with the pinstripes and different pickups. So, and a different headstock. But again, like the EC1000, mahogany body, 24 frets. This one's got rosewood. I think that one's got rosewood too, because it's an early enough year. It's just a really fantastic guitar. And while not as high end as some of the others, I would tell you that I believe it sounds just as good as anything. It's in the player's hands, and you can make this exact guitar do and sound any specific way that you wanted to make it sound. So those are my 5 current favorite guitars. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sure that over time my tastes will continue to change and update. Maybe I'll do this yearly, maybe not, because maybe it really won't change over the next year. I don't know. We'll see. But if there are videos like this that you guys want to see, let me know. I'd be happy to make them. I hope you enjoyed this. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you soon. Actually, you know what? Let me know what your favorite guitars are too. I would actually like to know what all of you are playing. Now stay safe, and I'll see you soon.